Hello, everyone, and welcome to League Review. I'm your host, William, and with me today I have Brian,
Hello.
and that's it. Unfortunately, our guest, Ryan, is at work, and he would have been able to make it for a second week, but he's not there, and Brock is also at work, I believe, right now, so we're down two people. So Brock's picks aren't updated. I did get Ryan's updated for power rankings, I should say. So let me just delete these so they don't confuse people. Because it still has like TSM number one from like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's get right into the match history first, and then we'll do a quick match history, power rankings, and predictions like normal. First up was FlyQuest versus EchoFox. FlyQuest finally pulled off a win outside. They had one win, but against TSM of all teams, but they finally got another win, and it was against the new EchoFox jungler, Mike Young. First time we'd seen Mike Young since his TSM days on the main stage. And yeah, they Echo Fox or FlyQuest just destroyed them. Echo Fox looked terrible, to be honest.
Yeah. Kind of disappointing for Mike Young. I'm just kind of parroting what the casters were saying. I personally didn't think his early game was super bad, but he just wasn't aggressive at all and just got no advantages for
I
his team.
I would make the argument that if you're playing Olaf and you're not aggressive at all, your early game is super bad.
I just meant like his like pathing and like getting camps and
Yeah,
stuff. He
yeah.
was he was up early and I was like, okay, Mike, but
Mhm. Mhm. But like
early game I mean like
if
first
you're playing
7
Olaf,
minutes.
you need
Yeah.
to you need to get things going, or else you become
Yeah.
completely useless. Like your whole point, especially with your laners of Cassiopeia and Sivir, like you're the bridge to get them to the late game, and he just did
Yeah.
not do that at all. And it was just, like, as you can tell by Gold Graph, which is a complete blowout for FlyQuest. Finally secured their second win. It had to take a lot of pressure off their back, kind of like 100 Thieves situation, and just like they got to be relieved. I'd feel like because they on Twitter they are all like depressed people. Like if you read their Twitters, it's so bad. I feel so sad.
Well, I mean, they are better than their record shows. Like,
Oh, they're way better than the record shows. Like they got fourth place in spring, and they didn't change anything except for now they have JJ instead of or what did instead of JJ, which is just like a side grade. I think it's nothing. I don't think it's like that devastating. And they did have JJ before he got benched. Just
yeah, I
like
think the personalities thing is what's changed mostly with that switch.
yeah, but it's really just like not essentially just like nothing worked for them at the beginning of the season, and it just kind of like snowballed. It just kept going and going, and just everything is like kind of falling apart. Next game was a game we don't need to pay attention to. It was
What
C9.
game?
It was C9 versus Team Liquid,
Oh,
and
why would we not pay attention to a top of the table game?
yeah, I mean, it's just like they had some injuries with Licorice, so he wasn't showing up. So like, they didn't want to do anything after that. Like they didn't want to play without Licorice there.
Yeah,
That's what Team
they
Liquid
just
thought.
they figured they wanted to go home, see how Liquid was doing, so they just easy clapped Team Liquid. Everyone talking crap about my C9 is still a good team. They had a bad Rift Rivals. They basically memed it.
They had a bad 2 weeks before Rivals as well. To be fair,
Well,
they,
have a bad week 5 or whatever this
yeah,
was.
yeah.
I
This
don't
is
know.
week 5.
Yeah, I got it right. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just nasty. We saw the Vigar mid again. It was pretty nice. It does
That was very nice.
really well into Corki, I think, because he can't package away
Yeah.
if you place it in the middle of the map correctly, or like just you place it correctly.
He got a ton of early kills, which also helps. He
Yeah,
had
that's
like
always nice.
a couple hundred
Double
extra.
kill on Core JJ and Dick Smithy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just and then a kill on Jensen right after that. 3 kills before 10 minutes on Vigar. You're snowballing. You're snowballing
Yeah.
hard. Kumo played amazing, by the way. He destroyed Impact on top lane.
Yeah, he did.
Impact's only good against other world class top laners. Apparently, he's pretty lackluster when he's going against.
Impact didn't know what this guy did. Like he has no intel on him probably. Maybe a tad bit from his coaching staff, but like I doubt he's ever
I
watched him.
think, yeah, I think that might have been a reason. Like one of the big reasons is that.
Maybe solo queue he should have because I'm sure they've played against each other before, but Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was just a very bad game from Team Liquid altogether. It was a very terrible game, and C9 capitalized on all their mistakes, which is what a good team does, and it was very good to see from C9 because we had been talking about C9 last week, and we threw them under the bus a little bit. At least me and Ryan did, but it made sense because they had not beaten a good team, like except for CLG. That's the only team, the good like really good team they had beaten all split, and all the other wins had come to like Echo Fox, FlyQuest, and stuff like that. And then they have a very bad performance before Rift Rivals, and then they have a terrible performance at Rift Rivals. Granted, they had a situation with the virus going around and stuff like that, but
Yeah,
like a lot of stuff. There's a lot of red flags going there, and they sealed it up this week.
I saw through.
You did. You were correct. You did not make the correct pick though. Brock did.
Was that the one he misclicked, or was?
No, that was the CLG versus TSM.
Yeah.
Shut up, Lars. Lars sent me a message saying 10:42 notification for the stream because I said I was gonna stream at 10 tonight. I got
Yep.
excited. We play RuneScape. At least I played RuneScape 3. Brian plays old school. But yeah, I was having a lot of fun on the new island. Anyway, TSM versus 100 Thieves. This game, I believe Ryan had 100 Thieves with the upset here. It did not happen. 100, TSM just, I won't say destroyed them because 100 Thieves looked good in the early game a bit. As you can tell, they were trading kill for kill here, and like they got a Drake, but they gave a kill for it, but that's a good trade. And then they gave up a triple kill, but it was to Smoothie, so it was okay. It's like, it's type those situations. And then eventually TSM's late game was just disgusting. I know you have Zaya and Azir as well on 100 Thieves, but just the Gangplank Corki Sivir is nasty late game with the CC of Sejuani and Nautilus on top of that. That's a good team comp. That's a very good draft.
Yeah, it feels
to
feels good to win with the Sedge against
Trundle.
the Trundle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tough
Also,
matchup.
Acadian pulling out a win.
Yeah,
Good for him.
I like to see that, especially because we had
Yeah.
the conversation last podcast that we both agree that we think Acadian is the better jungler of the two, of Acadian and Greg. So it's good to
Yeah.
see him starting to get wins with because we can say that all we want, but at the end of the day, the only stat that matters is wins. you know, so like he wasn't getting many wins, which is really worrisome. Ryu got caught going for wards twice. That was not good as well. But yeah, it was a pretty good win for TSM. They did not rebound well. They did not come back well. But the next game we had Optic versus Golden Guardians. Optic kind of smashed Golden Guardians. The gold lead was like, I mean, I guess it was a 2K gold lead by 11 minutes, and they never let up. This game was just a blow. This is a situation where Draven gets ahead, Draven wins the game types, and you also had Crown on Azir, who's one of his best picks, I think. What I was shocked about is Doklo being 3-0-3 on Aatrox. I mean, he did get 2 kills towards the end, so it wasn't like he was like dominating lane per se. But the fact that he was relevant and didn't die, you know, like that's all
Yeah.
I'm asking from Doklo at this point is just don't die that much. Um, yeah, and I think this game was mostly decided through the bot lane. We had Golden Guardians with Huhi starting as the support, former CLG mid laner,
Heck
and
yeah.
FBI from the Bomber squad. If you watched MSI, he was fantastic at MSI, and I was really, really looking forward to this. It was a very poor showing for day one, with 1-8 bot lane from both of them combined, and it was rough to watch, but they did improve in game two at least. It was just an all round, like I said, it was a situation where Draven gets fed early. You've been there. We've all been there.
You talk about league or team fight tactics.
Both. Next, we have CLG versus Clutch Gaming. This one was more so uh, pretty big. I don't like the Sona Tom Kench. I'm just gonna say it. Like Sona Tarek, I get. I just don't get Sona Tom Kench as much.
Because Sona's just busted, but like
Yeah.
I'd rather have Cody Sun on a carry,
Yeah.
like or a true carry,
An 80 carry.
an AD carry.
They
Yeah.
put him on a carry in the next game.
Yeah.
He no, we'll talk about that. But yeah, this was a pretty. It was solid by
Wait,
CLG though.
they play
They played Cloud9.
Cloud9. Okay, unlucky.
Yeah, it was a tough week. And Biofrost was popping off with the Pike, and Sivir just popping off on the just Sivir things. You know, Sivir did get nerfed by the way, but she's still very strong. It was a very tiny nerf. And
Yeah,
just in general, this was.
she's
But
very safe and
she's
has
so
that
safe.
really late game power. What's it called? Win condition, which they got.
Yep, exactly. This was a 37-minute game, so it was on the longer side. But as you can tell, once CLG took the lead at 23 minutes, they never gave it back up, and they took every objective pretty much from there. Oof, is this day number 2 now? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Day number 2 was Golden Guardians versus Echo Fox. Golden Guardians. This was actually pretty close match for 36 minutes here. It wasn't until this fiasco, like Echo Fox was ahead, and then freaking, they're doing the Baron, so they're all fighting around here in the Baron pit, and instead of like I thought it was a good engage by Hakuo. Hakuo came around, walked up here, flash ulted Vel'Koz, popped Froggen immediately, and Froggen, as we know, is pretty much everything for Golden Guardians. So he popped immediately in the fight. Also caught out FBI like right there, and FBI just didn't die somehow. Like they stopped focusing him a bit, and I think they thought he was dead, type one of those situations. But his life steal from the Bloodthirster just kept him alive just a little bit longer. And it bought just enough time for Haunter, Huhi, and Contracts to get in there and just completely ace. They completely aced Echo Fox. I was gonna say 100 Thieves, but I'm like that's not right.
Yeah,
they complete.
I keep getting FBI and Lost mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but this game was just. They also had a Syndra ADC for Echo Fox as well, so tried to spice it up a bit. But it they had the good going. They had it going there until that Baron buff. I wouldn't say they were winning necessarily because even though they were up 2k gold, they were down 2 Infernal Drakes in a Cloud, but 2 Infernal Drakes on a team with the Vel'Koz, Callista, Rek'Sai, Gragas, and AP Gragas
Yeah.
and Lux. Like that's a lot of damage added on.
Also, I get you have like the knockup from Nautilus and you were playing Yasuo in the mid lane. I would rather have, if you're gonna pick Syndra, put her in the mid lane and then
Yeah,
just like Ezreal's open. Apollo's good at Ezreal. It's safe. Like
I
I
agree.
don't love Apollo on Syndra.
Yeah, I agree. And
Yeah.
FBI and Hui, they popped off this game. They had a terrible first game we talked about where they went 1-8. This game they made up for that and went 12-1 with a lot of assists.
Yeah, I think support's good for Huhi because like
As long as
he's
he's
been known
playing
to be like a shot
Lux.
caller.
he's
Well,
got to
he
play
hasn't
his
had much.
he's got to play his AP mid laners.
Yeah, I mean he played Yumi that relies on your team too. So
Yeah, if you fall behind in Yumi, you're kind of
yeah,
screwed. But yeah, we have Callista sitting here at the 7-1-13, and Callista's not a very common pick, and I don't necessarily like the Callista. I forgot? Did he bind with who he? I'm assuming. Or did he bind with someone else? Because yeah, he
I
bind with
think
Hades.
you
He
have
bind
to
with
bind
Hades.
with Huhi just for the lane phase.
Yeah, he did. Because I remember him saving him from a situation. But it's like
Yeah,
usually your support you don't really want,
wanna
or your Lux I should say. You don't really want to like. I like this Callista ult for engages, I should say, more than disengages. But I guess you can work for disengages as well.
whatever works.
Whatever works. And it did. They absolutely crushed Echo Fox. Next
Is
was
Echo Fox out of playoff contention?
Echo Fox has been out of playoff contention since the day after they beat Team Liquid, or the week after they beat Team Liquid. It's like, oh, there's a
They're
chance. Oh wait, never mind. That was just a complete fluke. That's like the biggest fluke still of the LCS this summer. uh, is that still their only win, or did they have another one? I don't remember.
They have another one.
Okay,
I think they have 3 wins.
No, I don't think so.
No, they're 2-8. You're right.
Yeah. Oh my god, bad.
They beat Optic last week.
Got it. Oh yeah, the major upset the Optic kind of threw as well. It's like both
Yeah.
Echo Fox wins are kind of big throws. They weren't really dominating either game.
Yeah, when your owner is making bigger headlines than you getting into Iron 2,
Yeah, they're not
not
great.
great.
This game was C9 versus Clutch Gaming. Clutch Gaming pulling up. First off, let's talk about the comp. They had Cody Sun as their mid laner this game on Zed. going against the counter of to counter out Twisted Fate. Did a real good job with Twisted Fate being 5-0-9.
Yeah, super good.
But it was mostly his team kind of failing him at the same time. Huni on Cassiopeia, who's also one of his better champs. I always loved Huni's Cassiopeia. 1-6 is not a good performance.
Against the Jace, against
It's
Sven
not. It's
Skaren
not good. It's not good.
on his Lee Sin. I like seeing Sven on Lee Sin though.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Sven on Lee Sin, level 1 with that Chad flash over the wall to smite. That was hilarious. And I
Yeah,
love that. Instead of just walking to get into smite range, which he was basically, I think he was like a step away from smite range or so. No, he
you gotta secure
flashed
it.
over that wall. Made
Secured.
level 1. Yeah, he did. He secured it and he got level 2. And from there on, he was pretty dominant. That's the whole. As I mean, Cloud9 went 20-7 in this game with a 14k gold lead in a 28-minute game. That's pretty much dominant all around. As you can tell, they gave up an early Cloud Drake after a first blood for Cloud9, and then Cody Sun did get a double kill against Svenskeren and Kumo up in top lane. But outside of that, and I mean, honestly, Cody Sun did as much as he could. He couldn't
Yeah.
really shut down Niski. He obviously didn't kill him, and that was his goal, I guess, as a counter to Twisted Fate. He's supposed to kind
Yeah.
of kill the person that you're countering, but he killed the rest of the team. Okay, but the rest of his team, like I said, 1-6, 0-5, 2-2 in the mid lane, 0-3, just did not work out. Especially
I
that
just
team fight around Baron.
if I'm the players on Echo Fox with this comp, maybe you've practiced it and maybe it
Clutch, I'm
works.
assuming.
Yeah, clutch. I'm thinking Huhi. I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
I mean it's
you know,
basically last year's Echo Fox.
Demonte. Yeah, but what's it called? With clutch, I'm just like, what are we doing? Like to your coaching staff.
Yeah.
Because if this isn't the most solo queue thing you've ever seen in a professional game, besides maybe G2 at Rift Rivals, like,
I mean, this is like G2. The G2
this is
played
like
the Zed ADC. They put
yeah.
their ADC on Zed, but put him in the mid lane.
But
They
their ADC also was a mid laner before, so
True.
I'm a little bit more
May-
okay with it.
Makes
He's
more
also an
sense.
international champion winner.
They tried something spicy and it did not work. I didn't. Like I
Just
said,
like
I
picks.
peep. That would hurt. Still under 500 in NA. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm still holding 70% in like LPL and stuff. Under 500 in NA. It's embarrassing.
It's like the first time I feel like any of us have been under 500
Not
this
true.
late in the season.
I think Brock was under 500 at one point, but I'm not. I think both of us were under 500 in our very first split. Like it was a bad split to start the year, but I don't. I'd have to go back and check.
Yeah.
It's
For what region?
NA. We
Oh,
had a. I
really?
remember we had a really bad first time we did it, or not
Huh.
necessarily like super bad. I think we recovered later on. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Next game was Team Liquid versus 100 Thieves. God, this was a tense game. This game was like had so many ups and downs, as you could tell. Like at the
Liquid should have lost this game.
um
They should have. They
mm,
late. They should have. They
mm,
lost like 2 team fights or something.
no, they lost one team fight and they lost the Baron because of that. But 100 Thieves did not capitalize. They took one inner tower off that Baron. They didn't get a single inhib. And then from there on, every team fight was either a draw or Team Liquid winning. Yeah,
Okay.
Team Liquid only lost that one team fight at the 30-minute mark, which is actually where 100 Thieves got in the lead, but they never exceeded more than 1k in the gold lead during the entire game. And
Still think they should have lost.
I don't agree with that. I think it
With
was
the Baron that late though, you take the gold lead, so it's even, and you have Baron that late. You should be knocking on the door.
well, yes, but then 100 Thieves completely botched the
Yeah.
entire Baron. Like they didn't set their lanes correctly, so they were only going they were going on two at a time, but then they weren't like lined up perfectly. Where then they all of a sudden only had Amazing pushing the mid lane and everyone else up top lane. So it's like, what is a 1 in 5 Gragas gonna do in the mid lane? You know, like
Yeah.
Team Liquid
Just
got his
go
ult
on.
and his flash immediately because he had the get away, obviously, because they tried to engage on him with Sona and Jace. And then once that happened, then they moved everyone over to the top lane and protected that tower. So then 100 Thieves went to the bot lane to try and get that, and then went 2 for 2. And they did pick up a dragon, so I guess that's a slight win again in another team fight. But after that, from there on out, Sona
I'm
Tarek
just
just led the
saying,
game.
I'm just saying if they do that against anyone other than 100 Thieves, Echo Fox, like a bottom of the table in a team, that's a loss.
Oh yeah, they didn't play it. I mean, it was mostly like Hundred Thieves giving you a bajillion mistakes and then you not deciding to capitalize on any of them until the very end. Pretty much is how that whole game went, in my opinion. That's how I saw the game. Was like Hundred Thieves makes a mistake, Team Liquid doesn't decide to capitalize, so Hundred Thieves still has another shot. Hundred Thieves makes another mistake, Team Liquid's like, we don't need to capitalize on this either. Another shot. Like you, once you give people enough shots, they're eventually gonna win a game. But Hundred Thieves did not.
Yeah. If it's TSM, they lose.
Yeah, yeah, most likely. And I don't like the Sonataric for Team Liquid. I know it's a winning game for them, but like,
Yeah, they were talking about this on the
I
desk.
would rather see Double Lift on an ADC than anything else.
Yeah. I think Europe told them. This is what I've heard. I think
Yeah,
I heard Crumbs talking about it.
yeah,
They're like, we get that it works, but it won't like to move on.
yeah. It won't.
Yeah.
It won't work against international teams, like you said. Like even you said earlier, like it'd probably
Yeah.
lose this game to or to TSM. But like, I would much rather just see Double Lift on AD carries again. Like
Yeah,
please.
me too.
Like he's not the best mage player, and I know Sona's super easy, so it's not like a difficult situation. But I
He's
would
got those mechanics down.
I would rather have Core JJ on a better engager or something like that for than Tarek, because Tarek's a tough engage with the you have the stun, but it's kind of hard to hit in my opinion at least. Like it's kind of tricky because people just can kind of like they know what you're gonna do type situation with
They know
Tarek.
when it comes out. If you
Yeah,
don't have like a flash, you can't like secure a
yeah,
crazy stun.
yeah, exactly. Where something like Alistair or Rakan, you can make plays around
Yeah.
around not having vision. Like if someone doesn't have vision of you, you can easily get that. If you don't have vision of Tarek, you can still run away from him.
Yeah.
And I think that if Team Liquid goes back to ADCs, I think they'll be totally fine. I mean, Jensen also had a good game, so did Impact, but Impact should have a good game with Jason to Horn. And Jensen, honestly, Jensen had a really good game with Zoe. I thought 7-1-6 and into Corki, it's kind of hard as well because Corki scales better than you, and he kind of has good wave clear early as well, so you can't get that advantage that way either. So Jensen kind of carried this game, in my opinion, until eventually Sonataric became Sonataric, and once you're like level 16 on Sonataric, it's like, oh, you got hit. Here's a full heal, basically. I think Double
Yeah.
at the last team fight was at like 25% HP, and then him and Tarek heal at the same time, and he's at like 90%, like that. I'm like, oh, that's a cool comp.
Dumb.
Next game, Brian, you can take this one away.
One of the biggest sighs of relief I've ever had watching League of Legends. I I, I was super confident early when they got, I think it was like 3 kills to 1. I'm not 100% sure.
Yes,
Or
it was 4-1 after the
four to
botch.
one.
Yeah, two
Yeah.
botch dives from
Yeah.
Butler.
2 botch dives. I was like, it's over. I was like, there's no way. Power of Evil on Corky with like, how many kills did he get early? None. Okay,
Um,
just kidding. But like,
he
okay,
had two
they got,
before 12 minutes.
did he? Okay, well, wasn't, how long was the game? Not
It's
that
only
long.
25 minutes.
Yeah. So that's halfway in. But yeah, I was holding my breath towards the end because TSM started getting some kills back. But again, seeing Sven on Yasuo, I think that kind of was really weird
Oh,
because I don't see him as a Yasuo player. I think you can have Smoothie on Gragas if you don't want Acadian to play Gragas and still have Bjergsen on Yasuo. And then when you're team fighting, you have that ult. And you put Sven, even if you put him on the Cassiopeia or an
he's
AD
good on the
carry,
Cassiopeia as well. He had a lot
yeah,
of wins in spring with Cassiopeia.
yeah, like you can literally change that, and it's way scarier to me.
Me too. I
But
I agree with that.
yeah, Ruin held off top lane super well. Had some really good fights, some interesting ults, and the one heart stopper in mid lane where Stixay just walked into the brush, but Wiggly on the most broken champion, maybe besides Zoe, to grace the rift in recent years with the like
Yeah,
outplay top lane. That
yeah,
was
that was
crazy.
so good.
PoE hitting every ult. Oh, it feels good to be a CLG fan right now, and that has been a long time since you're able to
Yeah,
say that.
you've cursed it, man. You just cursed it right
I don't
there.
I don't care. I feel good about the team. I think it's going to be really hard for them not to make playoffs, and I told you all I want is playoffs. We don't have to go to Worlds. We
You
don't
you
even
want
have to win.
semifinals?
Yeah, I'd like semifinals because I'll be there.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't going to be there, all I want is playoffs.
Like I just think that it was a very good win. It was a dominant win, but it was like
So dominant.
it was one of those situations like this is CLG. Let's wait till the Nexus is down type
That's why
situation.
I was super pumped early because we always do it early. And then Brock, we were watching, and he was like, "Oh, it's over," and I was like, "I don't know." Even
Yeah,
though they had like a 6K gold lead or
I was
something.
cracking up at the one part where I think it was right here at 12 minutes when Ruin ulted up top and just went straight into Broken Blade and
Ugh,
just died. I'm like, okay, that's not how your ult works anymore. Drox. just just didn't like he just died immediately after ulting. It's like okay, that's weird.
that was brutal.
And then when the Rift Herald reset, with when TSM was getting a dragon, and then TSM ended up getting the Infernal Drake and stuff like because of the reset. I was like,
It
oh no,
wasn't perfect, but it
no.
was
But yeah,
clean.
after that it was like smooth sailing from there, except for the stick save running into the bush. But after that, it was smooth sailing from there.
Even that though, even that, it was still like a
Yeah.
2-1 or something.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. Yeah. So it turned out okay. It did turn out okay.
yeah,
And then they won and tied first place with C9 and TL.
broke the curse.
They did. Final game was a complete snooze fest until the very end. First 30 minutes, could pretty much fall asleep and just you didn't miss anything.
We were playing Tactics during this one.
You don't tell people that, Brian.
I'm transparent.
Yeah, we got.
I at least had it up on my second
Yeah, I
monitor.
did too. I did too. But we were just like we just had watched CLG versus TSM, and we're just like Teamfight Tactics or FlyQuest versus Optic, and we're like we could just watch it on the other monitor. And then like I don't think I paid attention at all because like the first 10 minutes I was paying attention, like literally nothing has happened. Like this is just
They
so
had
boring.
250 CS in the mid lane before the first turret fell.
Yeah, it was a snooze fest, and then it wasn't because FlyQuest was started to dominate all of a sudden with a huge team fight win, 4-for-1, gets the Baron, gets the inhibs, gets towers, gets everything, and then they throw, and then they give up Baron, give up 3 kills in a Baron for nothing, give up an Infernal Drake on top of that Baron, give up 4 towers, bunch of inhibs, and then Optic flows back to FlyQuest, and FlyQuest goes and wins the game. Pretty much how
Yeah.
that went.
FlyQuest felt like old Splice, where
Ye-
they would just like wait until late. They had items and then they'd win
Yeah, that's pretty
because
much.
nothing happened except for the throw. I feel
Yeah.
like Splice used to strangle out late games, but
Mm-hmm. It was a really bad throw as well. They were up 8K gold at that point. And
yeah,
then they went all the way to a gold deficit of 46. I know it's not much, but from 8K gold to a gold deficit in about 2-3 minutes is not good.
yeah. 2,500 of it is Baron though,
Yeah, true.
so I mean, yeah.
Isn't Baron 1,500? I thought.
I thought it was 500 a person.
I thought it was 300 a person.
Is it 300 a person? I have no
I
idea.
think it's 300 a person, but I'm not 100% on that.
I think I'm right.
Disagree. Well, look it up. Well, actually, you don't need to look it up unless you're already doing it, because we're gonna
No,
go
I'm
straight into our power rankings, because there's no more games for me to talk about. So first up, we all have C9 number one in the power rankings. I think their
not.
their win over TL was pretty good, and honestly, I'm very impressed with not only that they dominated Clutch Gaming as well. Just absolutely just. I mean, both games were they dominated Team Liquid as well. So they had two very dominant performances. Put them up number one because of that. I have Team Liquid number two. You guys, you and
I don't
Ryan.
know why. I
have
don't know
CLG number
why.
two. Why not? Name
Okay,
one
CLG,
player on
CLG,
CLG.
CLG, CLG has lost to TSM early in the split,
Okay.
Cloud9, and
Mhm.
Optic.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yes.
Yep.
And
Who is Team Liquid lost to? CLG,
C9.
Echo Fox,
Echo Fox.
in Cloud9.
Yes. But in my
So, do you
sense,
care to explain yourself?
yes, because in my sense, name one position CLG is better than Team Liquid at.
Hmm. Let me think. Probably mid lane.
Nope. Disagree
Yep.
completely. Disagree. Jensen is
I
better than
haven't seen
Power of Evil.
pop off like PoE has in
He
NA.
just literally went 7-1 and something on Zoe. Literally last game.
But he's playing Zoe. That doesn't count.
It still counts.
Okay, let's see. Not Impact. I would say maybe Wiggly this split.
This split, Wiggly's improved a lot. I don't think it's better than
Smithy,
Smithy.
Smithy has been kind of a snooze fest. He's had his moments because he's Smithy, but
I can't put Wiggly from.
hey, I'm not talking. I don't think that they're more talented 1-to-1. I'm saying as a cohesive unit, which is how you play the game right now. They have their losses are to quality opponents.
So are Team Liquids, except for one of them.
And one of their quality losses is to the team that you're arguing they're above.
I agree because I think if you were to play a best of 5 right now, Team Liquid would smash CLG.
William, this is not a best of 5.
But that's how I'm rating my power rankings.
Week 6 power ranking,
Yes,
not a
and I think
not a playoff. If it's a playoff power ranking, maybe. But this is a
it's
week
not a
6.
maybe. It's not a maybe.
Well, CLG, if you're going with a best of 5, would technically already be up 1-0.
Yes. And
Yes.
I would still think. Look,
What if
even
what if
giving
CLG
giving
what if
CLG a
CLG
handicap like that, I would still pick Team Liquid to win. Seriously.
what if CLG beats Liquid like this coming Saturday?
Then I would put CLG ahead of Liquid right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Listen to that. What hat do you have on?
Team Liquid hat. But absolutely.
So if you think if we're going off how I just set that up, CLG has a 2-0 lead going into a best of 5. Liquid reverse sweeps. Just straight 3-0 right now.
Yes. They did it
I don't
against TSM, who has a better team talent-wise as well.
I don't think that's true. Not in the jungle. They don't even have a jungler.
That's true. I'll give Wiggly over that, but I'd give Bjergsen over Power
think-
of Evil.
Yeah, probably.
I'd give Broken Blade over Ruin.
I want it.
I would.
Ruin. Okay, Broken Blade has like more pop-offs, I think, but Ruin's pressure is crazy. He always has people coming top.
No.
He always team fights well. He's had like one bad game, and I think it was like in his first week.
Yeah. I mean, he's been very good. He's been the thing that TLG's needed for 3 years when they had Darshan in there instead.
Yeah, he plays with almost no resources.
Yeah, which is good. Because when Darshan had no resources, he'd be like 0-5.
He's a black hole.
they weren't going anywhere.
No, they were going into Darshan and disappearing forever.
Yeah, they're going to the enemy team. It was just filling in their pockets.
They went to the upside down.
Yeah. But yeah, I think seriously, Team Liquid, I think 5 better players on every position.
I think they hate each other now.
I don't think so. I disagree completely. I don't know where you got that info from. They.
You're asking me to say that my team is
I know.
better than
We're never gonna get anywhere with this
the
situation.
team they've beat. They've beat them this year.
They have.
Recency bias. Liquid is worse in NA.
I still can't say that.
I can 100% say
like,
that they almost threw it against 100 Thieves.
It's tough for me to say that because situations like that'd be like saying that G2 is definitely 100% not the best team in EU.
I mean, who knows? Fnatic might beat them next time they play.
We don't. Yeah. So
they've already beat them.
Well, I still got CLG number 3, by the way, so I still have them up there. We're just arguing it's just gonna be impossible to break through from the other one.
But you're fighting that teams who have lost are better than the teams that have beat them.
I can argue that in a best of 1 situation because best of 1's anything can happen.
That's fine.
Are you gonna say Echo Fox is better than Team Liquid?
No, because they've lost to everybody else.
Except
But Team
Optic.
Liquid still lost to
Yeah,
them.
that game was such a bad throw. Like
It was a
such a
throw, but
bad.
I mean, if Liquid does that throw, which they did again against 100 Thieves, they just happened to pull it back. Like,
No, it wasn't as bad as the Echo Fox
it
throw.
wasn't
It
as
was
bad,
not
you're
nearly
right.
as bad as the Echo Fox. The Echo
But
Fox
against
throw
a
was
quality
literally.
opponent, that's is against a quality opponent, that is just as bad of a throw.
I don't want to
It,
say that just
it,
because they literally entered
because you
into
just
Echo
don't want to
Fox.
say it.
No,
Because
because
you
they
just
never
don't want
had
to
a
say it.
situation against 100 Thieves where they literally just ran into them. I don't think that never happened. Or against Echo Fox, there was 3 times they just ran into them in hope for the best. It wasn't even like a coordinated fight.
They had the craps syndrome where they're like, oh, we're better than them.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's like, oh wait, we just ran into 3 gangplank barrels. Let's do that again. Maybe it'll work the second time. Oh no, we just lost the game because of that. Okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see
we'll
this
agree
week.
that you're wrong.
We'll see this week. We'll see this
Okay.
week. You have Team Liquid number 3. I have Team Liquid CLG number 3. Don't need to discuss that anymore.
Yep. Have them under the teams they've lost to.
TSM number 4. Think that's pretty much where they belong. I think they're
Pretty
better
fair.
than the
Yeah.
rest of the teams, but I don't see them better than the top teams right now. They've shown a lot of signs of weakness, especially in the jungle position that we talked about
And I
earlier.
know that you think that TSM would have a better shot in a best of 5 against Team Liquid than CLG would.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're taking into account different seasons. Okay, we're done. I don't have to like get the last word. I'm not trying to end it on that, but
Next,
fuming.
next we have Optic. That's
Put
good.
put some respect on our name.
That's good. I'm just no, not. I mean, I think you guys are going to make playoffs for sure.
I think
Absolutely.
it's hard to not make playoffs at this point with some of
If there's
the
teams
league.
that truly, it'd be truly counter-logic to not make
I would renounce my fandom at that point.
it. Would you? Because you might want to
No.
hold that still. It's not good for Jet. We have Optic at number 5. Makes sense. They beat Golden Guardians.
Yeah.
Like they did lose the FlyQuest, but we had FlyQuest so low that they can't. It's one of those situations. It's a bad loss, but beating Golden Guardians makes it's kind of weird in that sense. That just makes power rankings difficult.
Yeah. It's also where we had 100 Thieves winning, and we're like, yep, they're good. Like, they're a good team. They're
Yeah.
just losing.
Yeah, they did lose 2 games immediately.
Yeah.
Tough
schedule,
but
tough
they
schedule.
did play them very well. So I
Yeah.
wasn't like upset at all. 100 of these losses. FlyQuest moved all the way up to number 7 for both of us. And I think it's like
Fair.
they have. We're just assuming they're much better than their record shows.
The players are just so much. It's 100
There's so
Thieves
much-
syndrome.
It is same. And then I have 100 these 8. You have Clutch Gaming 8. It's the exact same situation where I'm like, these teams have to be better than what they show. 100 Thieves and or FlyQuest. Echo
Yeah,
Fox.
I think Clutch has to figure out their draft.
Yeah, Clutch has having some weird issues. You know, they're trying
Yeah.
a little too many things. Like, I don't mind experimentation. I don't like when you experiment on like 2 to 3 lanes at once, and they're like,
Yeah.
let's see how this works. And it's like, no, that's not.
They're just throwing it at the wall and seeing if it sticks.
Yeah, it's not team fight tactics. You can do that in team fight tactics. Can't do that in regular.
Also, Teamfight Tactics is unranked and has no stakes.
Yeah, that's true. So you can throw whatever you want out. And
Yeah.
finally, Echo Fox last. I'm pretty sure we all agree that they are by far the worst team in the NA right now.
They look lost.
They look completely lost. Mike Young
Nope.
Rush wasn't the problem. he was in my defense.
I think
Maybe.
Rush was the problem,
I
but I
think
don't
he was
think
the
Mike
problem.
Young's the answer.
That is exact. I saw everyone saying Rush wasn't the problem. The way you said it, you just framed it perfectly. Exactly how I
Yeah.
think. Rush, I thought definitely the problem. Mike Young, not a good answer. It's
Yeah.
not much better.
I mean, like, where was Mike Young? He was on an academy team.
Team Liquid Academy. He went them.
Team Liquid Academy? Yeah. Where's Dardoch? I know they probably don't want him because of his attitude, but, like,
yeah.
he wins. He probably doesn't like Echo Fox, the org, though. So
Sure, yeah. But it's just like, but it's a situation where Mike Young was a side grade to Rush, and when Rush was like one of the top 5 worst players in LCS, and you're side grading that position, it's kind of hard to do a side grade if you think about it in that sense.
yeah.
There's almost anywhere from up. Like it's just like you're almost at rock bottom. You can just
I'm
you just gotta go up.
like, how much money can you offer Blabber to see if he'll leave C9 Academy?
That would
Like
have to
for a
be yeah.
starting spot.
I feel
For a
like
starting spot.
you probably couldn't do that at this maybe. How does that work if he's like a starter though? Can
Well,
you
he
just
got him off Team Liquid Academy.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, but is it different when you're like kind of rotating type situation? I don't know.
I have no
Maybe
idea.
if you play a certain amount of games on the main roster, you can't be like taken away that in the middle of the season like
Maybe.
that. I
I'm
don't know.
looking. I'm looking at all the teams right now to see who their backup junglers are,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't see much.
NA is not really known for their junglers. Let's just say that. We have a good top lane, I think, but we don't have the best jungles.
Yeah, I heard someone on the desk say that EU top lane was better than NA top lane, and like Wonder is. I would say maybe back in the day, Odo and
Cabochard
for
is better.
Cabochard and Alfari. Maybe that's like good back then, but
Whippo.
now Whippo. I mean, Whippo's not
Whippo has
better.
ons and offs.
Whippo, yeah, Whippo has very hot games and very bad games.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with you as well, but we'll get flamed for that situation. for saying that.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever. exactly. But I agree as well. All right, though, let's move straight to our predictions because quick podcast is 41 minutes. we haven't.
We got heated. We got
We
heated.
got heated. We got heated for a bit there. it's all good. It's all good.
It's a good podcast.
It's all. Hey, I love that kind of stuff because it.
Ryan, comment why I'm right. In
yeah, he also did pick CLG, so.
if I missed anything, just put the screws to William.
Let's I'm just reading. Okay. Okay. He put CLG number 2 because they had beaten Team Liquid.
Sounds like a very sound argument.
It is, but there's.
But I like Team Liquid, and I'm not putting
No.
them below CLG, who's a
No.
worse team
There's-
objectively.
Yeah, exactly. In a power ranking, should never mind. no, never mind.
I was saying it from your perspective, not from my perspective.
But you get my point.
No, yeah, I just got your point because you said exactly. Anyway,
Okay. Game number 1 is. Oh, we actually have predictions also from Ryan. But game number 1 is Echo Fox versus Cloud9, and I'll get predictions from Brock after this podcast. This should be a very easy one. I don't want to do too much analysis here. This is
yep.
Cloud9.
Cloud9.
Ryan said this could be a trap game because
No.
the C9 will be preparing hard for TSM in day 2, but
I don't think it's enough.
it's not enough. That's exactly what he says. it's not enough. And C9. Next, we have Golden Guardians versus FlyQuest. This one, I think this one's gonna be a little tougher than one would usually say. However, because FlyQuest is coming off a good, finally got 2 wins. They're up to 3. They're only 2 wins away from the playoffs now, I believe. Let me just. Yeah, I think so. And then, yes, there are 2 wins. They're right behind Golden Guardians. They win this game. They're literally 1 game away from making playoffs, which is amazing for how they started the year. I called them dead in the water last week, I think. and but saying that, I don't see FlyQuest. I don't know. I don't trust POB against Froggen. You know, that's basically what it came down to. I think this game will be close, but I think at the end of the day, Froggen will just be too much for POB to handle and be able to carry. And he is the big carry of Golden Guardians. They only win really when Froggen pops off, and I think he will be able to pop off against POB with the way he's played this year. He did have a good week, but before that, it's been pretty bad.
I don't want to give you a free win.
Go for it if that's what you want. I mean, trust me, I'm so far behind it really doesn't even matter.
I said, oh, okay, this is how you bait me in. This is like when you're like saying what you want in team fight tactics, but it's the exact opposite, so someone takes it that you're playing with. Okay.
I'm 7 games behind you. It's a lot.
Yeah. I don't want FlyQuest to have another. I don't want, like, that's the thing. I don't want them to have another O2 week, but they're playing Liquid. I just don't see them getting it done there. I'll go FlyQuest.
Okay.
I believe in their momentum and Santorin beating contracts. Contracts hasn't looked bad, but Santorin beating contracts and he can help stop frogging.
I want you to know that Ryan also picked FlyQuest. He said
Yeah,
that he thinks that he really likes FlyQuest's trajectory right now, and he thinks that the game plan is good, and Golden Guardians has looked pretty shaky the last few weeks, which I agree with.
it's true.
I just think that, and he also brought up that he's worried about Pool Belter performing against Froggen, though, which is why I'm picking Golden Guardians.
Yeah,
Next, we have TSM versus Clutch Gaming. Both teams coming off a little bit of a bad week and both having a lot of experimentation. I don't think that Clutch is going to. I think it's the same. There's possible trap because of the situation where TSM might be preparing for Cloud9, but I think it's the exact same situation with the Cloud9 game where I think it's not enough to be able to handle. I think they'll be able to handle Clutch Gaming just fine.
yeah. I think that if I'm coaching TSM, if I'm Zix, you have to prepare for this game because you need wins.
Yeah.
And Cloud9, you know how they play. They're not going to do anything super crazy. Like Yasuo Gragas was their crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They can put in different players. So I think TSM wins this, but I don't know. I think Clutch has enough to beat them with like Huhi. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
He's Huhi, but he just hasn't been the Huhi we've known for so long.
Hooney.
But yeah.
Hooney.
Hooney. Sorry. Hooney. You know what I meant. You know what I
Who
meant.
he was last game on Golden Guardians.
Yeah. I picked against my boy.
You did,
But
unless Olay comes back. Might we don't know yet. Let's talk about the game. Match of the week. Give me Team Liquid. Absolutely. There's no way they're going 0-2 against CLG, right? Like
I'm going I'm going CLG.
all right. This is the game to decide it, right?
That's it.
It's the best of one, but this will decide it. Absolutely. There will be absolute bragging rights in this channel.
No, this will be bragging rights for me and you even it up.
Yes. But then Team Liquid would also be, I can show that I knew that
You
Team
can
Liquid was
argue
the
you
better
can have
team
a
this week coming in.
but then I can just argue, oh, it's a best of one. You don't know how a best of five is gonna go. See how
It
stupid that sounds?
doesn't sound that stupid. It does more from the CLG's perspective because they'd lose the best of five to Team Liquid. But
Okay.
also, Ryan, even though he picked CLG above Team Liquid, he also picked Team Liquid. He thinks that they're going to correct a lot of errors from Week 5 and come out strong versus the number one team. But he thinks that CLG is going to be on too much of a high from beating TSM that it's going to be a worse game for them against Team Liquid.
I think you ride the lightning. I've been watching all of those CLG vids. Their attitude right now is so good. Like, I know you don't watch them, and I know you probably never have, but I like what I see, not even on the Rift, but off the Rift. They're
All
all
right.
really good friends. Like, they're playing well. Even Ruin, like, he's talking more. The first few episodes, he's really quiet. Now you see him, like, kind of hanging out with everyone. I'm happy.
There we go. I mean, you guys are having a great season. Like I think you said, what was it before the podcast today? That if CLG lost every game for the rest of the year, it would still be a positive season. I don't know if that would be necessarily true, but win rate or like just yeah, win rate wise, it
Okay,
might be.
if they lose every game from here until the end, no, it will not. It will end on a super bad note, so it won't be a positive season.
The 0-8 finish.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it would be like their same record as they've had in previous splits.
yeah, nothing would have changed. I don't. With some of the teams in the league, I'd say that's impossible.
You would think
Like,
so.
hope so.
I'm just gonna check super quick while we're. No, I want spring standings. So like talk about the next game, Optic versus 100 Thieves, real quick while I look this
Okay,
up.
Optic and 100 Thieves. So this, I don't think this is a trap game for Optic because they've kind of been on a little bit of a slide, not like a huge slide. but they haven't looked like when they were going crazy, like on a crazy streak, and they were in first. Everyone was like, "No way!" They played against bad teams. Now they've beat some pretty good teams. They've also lost to some pretty bad teams. 100 Thieves, they got some wins and got their confidence back, but they just had a rough week against some really good teams. So I think this is just a really even. Excuse me, sorry for burping, but this is a really even game, and I I'm gonna pick 100 Thieves.
Really?
Yeah, I just think Optics on a little slide. They just lost to FlyQuest. They could come back and correct it, like you said. TL is gonna do, but I think 100 Thieves is hungry. They just had a not bad game against Liquid and TSM. Like
Mm,
they didn't win, but
they played him well.
they played them well. So yeah, I think the team's in a good like they're hungry to win.
All right. Just a side note that CLG went 7-11 last split. So if
Of
they lose
course,
every game, they'd be just as good as last split.
one game out of playoffs too.
Yep, to Echo Fox.
Yeah.
Yikes! I still cannot believe Echo Fox made playoffs. They completely ruined my whole like predictions thing because I only picked them once because I thought they were so bad, and they went on that really hot streak at the end, like 1-4-5, something like that, and it was like just snuck their way in.
Yeah.
But anyway, 100 Thieves versus Optic. Oh, this is a really tough one. Ryan also has 100 Thieves, by the way. I
Nice.
I just I've gone back and forth on this one a lot, and I'm kind of upset because I did also pick 100 Thieves, and I thought that maybe I can get a game change on you. I was thinking about changing the Optic once you said that, but I'm like, that's not fair. That's not fair. I can't do that.
You can do it. You haven't picked yet. You can 100% do it.
I picked though. I picked before the podcast.
Okay. I pick on the fly. Like
Ah,
I picked just now.
I just I will let's see.
You can stick with it. I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with 100 Thieves. I think the way they played against Team Liquid and TSM, I think that they're going to be able to outperform Optic. If they play that way against Optic, the way they played against Team Liquid or TSM, they win that game. And I think what is shocking me the most is how good Ryu is playing in these last two games, and just like how he's come up. And I think that could be good to stifle Crown a little bit and kind of make that even, so Crown can't snowball for the team. Because we're really noticing with what Optic's issue is that basically Crown has to get fed or nothing happens. you know, so I guess they without Crown they still won a game as well. But outside of that, I think that's mostly Crown winning the games for them. Next we have FlyQuest versus Team Liquid. This one is pretty simple. I think Team Liquid is just we talked about it even last split. Team Liquid FlyQuest is like the bargain Team Liquid team. Like they play very similar style, but they just have worse players all around. So Team Liquid should always usually end up beating them. I think they did lose once to them, but usually they should. Brian, is your mic muted? Is your mic unplugged? There we go.
yeah. Yes. It got like barely unplugged because I was talking. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I don't see this team style beating Liquid style.
hmm
I don't want Liquid to play Sonatark and lose an easy
Uh,
game just because it's predictable. But
mhm.
double lift on 80 carry, easy win. Team Liquid.
I agree. C9 versus TSM, also possibly game of the week. I think Team Liquid CLG is more important because it's the two top one seeds. This is a
Yeah.
1-4, but C9 TSM is always very exciting, and this will probably be game of the week just ratings wise. But I'm this one's tough for me. I picked who did I pick? I gotta make sure I say it right. Yes, I picked Cloud9 to win this game, just because I'm worried. Sven had a good year until the last 2 weeks. He's starting to look pretty bad. And I think that if you're looking bad and you can have sneaky get out of laning phase, fine. Sneaky in lane. But if he gets out of laning phase just fine, he's going to dominate. He's a really, really good team fighting ADC. And I think he's better than Sven at team fighting. And I think that because of that, I think that that's where the advantage will lie. I also think Niske is actually performing out of his mind this split as well. I think
Oh
he's
yeah.
been the best player on C9 overall at the moment. And Svenskeren is, as long as Svenskeren plays, not Blabber, this should be fine. I think Svenskeren's outplaying Acadian and Grid combined.
Do you want Kumo or Licorice?
I'd give me Licorice.
Yeah,
Just
I agree. In a high pressure game, like
mm-hmm.
Kumo plays well, but like
Yeah, yeah,
give me the vet of a year.
exactly.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I was talking about how I think TSM's got to focus on clutch because they want to win. They want a win like this
Hmm.
week, so they can't just only focus on Cloud9. And they kind of understand what Cloud9 is going to do. So I'm going to go Cloud9 just because I think they're a better team. And TSM's trying to make playoffs. I don't think they're going for first at the. If they beat Cloud9, sure you can focus on getting first or
Yeah,
second.
how far
But
back are they? They're
they're in like
one game back.
yeah, but if C9 wins their first game against Echo Fox, like then they have to beat them and they're still one back.
Well, that's saying they would lose the clutch
Yeah.
if they beat.
Okay. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But they have to prepare for clutch. I'm
Uh,
still.
you're still going to see now. That's fine. That's fine. Next, we have Golden Guardians versus CLG. This is. I'll go with what Ryan says first.
This is a big trap game.
This is a big trap game, exactly. He said potentially swingy matchup, considering how hard it is to gauge Golden Guardians right now. But he favors CLG across the board and their team play, which I do agree with that. But I also agree with what you said. So he picks CLG. I don't want to be a hater here, but I smell trap game all over this one. Really coming off of TSM, coming off of Team
You are a
Liquid.
hater.
I think that they trip up here against Golden Guardians. Even if they beat Team Liquid, they're gonna trip up against Golden Guardians. That's why I got Golden
God
Guardians.
dang. Okay, well, William just wants to lose this split and go negative. So I'm going CLG. If they lose, okay, like Golden Guardians isn't a bad team. It's not like losing to Echo Fox or anything.
Um,
But yeah,
this is how this is how we play on bot lane. By the way, guys, we just do this to each other the entire game.
we just soft flame each other the
The
entire game.
game. What was it last game? You said I'm gonna low key at you if you don't stop or something.
I just said, William, if you keep being mean to me, I'm just gonna go in and miss my WQ combo on Alistar every time. I had one game
And I said
where,
that you're doing that already.
yeah, I had one game where it was like 2:30 and I was really tired,
In my
and we
series, by the
played
way.
like in his. Hey, did I not carry you out of that series in the last game?
Did we carry that last game?
It wasn't that Yasuo game. We got our asses carried.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I don't remember. But yeah, it was a
I
fun
can check.
situation.
That was I went 2-3-12 on Alistar.
Where'd I go?
You went 5-1-11 on Sivir. So we had a good.
Yeah, we had a good game. That's good. That's a good game.
That was that Teemo. That was really good.
Oh
Really
yeah,
good
yeah,
times.
yeah. And he was just like committing all the pressure up top lane, so we had a free lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, that's how it goes.
That was that trash thresh on bot lane. That's why.
The one that kept laughing and made you mad.
Yeah, and then I just smashed him in the ground.
You did. Next game. 100 Thieves versus Echo Fox. This one's absolutely 100 Thieves. I can't pick Echo Fox right now with Mike Young as their jungler. I just
Yeah.
can't. I can't. They didn't fix the problem. They made it just the same.
I think this is a feels good game for 100 Thieves. And
Finally, yeah.
If you lose this, I think you got some internal looks to make because I don't know what happens here.
Yeah, if you lose this game, your season's over. Like this is like you need, especially we have them all beating Optic, but if they lose to Optic, it's like do or die type situation. Like they can't
Yeah.
really lose another game on the season, and they maybe like only just like one or two more losses. And Echo Fox
Oh.
is not one of those losses you want to give away.
if 100 Thieves lose the Optic, no one is mad. Like no one's like, oh,
Yeah.
what a stupid upset. Like no, they should beat 100 Thieves. We're
Yeah.
picking the upset.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
This is 100 Thieves all across. We all have 100 Thieves going 2-0 this week. That's a little crazy, guys.
I think they have a easier week
hmm
overall.
All right, next game, final game, Clutch versus Optic Gaming. This one this one smells like a trap to me as well a bit. I think that Clutch, and also even Ryan does have Clutch Gaming. Actually, I just noticed over here. He has Clutch Game over Optic. How does he say it? So he's better than me at that. He says Clutch has shown no fear in draft when it comes to setting up picks that give them advantages their laners can exploit, and actually had some good moves against C9 and CLG, especially with Huni and Dokla top. It's a very volatile game, and I think that's finally pays off for Clutch. Only way I think Optic wins, and sometimes and something that I feel is becoming more and more obvious is the jungle difference from Meteos. Yeah, so I think that, and if you can't get someone going, Optic seems to struggle. I see that as well. I think it's, yeah, that's a good point with Meteos, honestly. I think I always like give credit to Crown, but Meteos also has been playing really well for Optic. The rest of the team's kind of been slacking. I'm sorry, Big. Big Arrow, and just like the whole Dogo, and just like the whole team is outside of the jungle mid is kind of lacking at the moment.
Who's Clutch's support? Can't think off the top of my head.
Hakuo.
Hakuho? Yeah.
Wait, is Hakuo the support on Echo Fox?
It might be Echo Fox. I think he was Clutch.
Shoot, I'm totally blank. Vulcan. Okay.
Vulcan?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Big, obviously. Let's go matchup by matchup. We'll start with the bot lane. Big
Number
over
one.
Vulcan.
Easy.
No question. No analysis needed. I just think Arrow and Cody Sun,
I get
like
that the Cody
historically, probably Arrow.
Yeah, historically
But
Arrow. I think I get that the Cody Sun, but I'm a little Immortals biased.
yeah, I don't know. I think Optic's bot lane is a little better right now, and then I think the mid lane is 100% Optic.
Oh,
The jungle is Optic, and top lane is Huni, and Huni's just been so volatile, like he said.
yeah.
Not to steal his adjective, but I'm going Optic. I just think Optic has showed that they can beat good teams,
hmm
and I don't think I picked them in their earlier match against 100 Thieves. We all didn't,
Yeah.
so I think they win.
They're not gonna
I
go
think
to.
yeah.
I'm agreeing with you. I also picked Optic. I just think that you kind of made me feel a little bit better actually when you brought up the jungle and the mid difference, and I'm like, oh yeah, that does make sense. Like Optic's two
Mid
biggest
lane's the most
strengths.
important lane.
Yeah,
Like Huni's good, but Huni hasn't been that great. Like
and Meteos over Lyra.
I
Come
think
on.
Lyra has the potential, but Meteos is just miles better.
Yeah, I agree. Like that. Once you said that, I'm like, okay, I feel good about my Optic pick. like I was really thinking about Clutch, but I just couldn't pull the trigger. That's why I was actually like, oh, Ryan did it. I was like, oh, maybe I should pull the trigger, but no, I'll stick with
Yeah.
Optic.
Clutch is my team where I think when you do that into the split, I don't think I've picked them that much.
hmm
And I think they'll be the one where maybe I have, I don't remember, but I think they're the team. I'm scared to pick Clutch.
That's how I am
Just-
with Echo Fox.
I'm not scared to not pick Echo Fox.
I've actually picked Echo Fox twice this year. I only picked
I
him
think
once last split.
I think I've picked them more than you.
I picked him twice, and I'll just check super quick. Well, so we'll talk. Did you have anything else to say about the Clutch?
About Clutch. I mean, Lyra has had like
You haven't picked Echo
that I
Fox
can
this year?
remember. What? I haven't?
Not even once.
Fuck yes.
If
I'm an
it's-
Echo Fox hater. I don't love the org. I love their own. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. Org is kind of shady. Or
They're
is
a,
great.
they're a boring team.
They are. They really are. I'm interested to see if Solo goes anywhere because that's the only redeemable piece right now, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
solo is better than Dokla. Well, they're not playing right now, but
But
yeah.
yeah, if Optic
is.
can get Solo, that'd be amazing. Replace Dokla with
That
Solo.
would actually be a
Optic would
great
be a
pickup.
powerhouse team, I think.
I think they'd definitely be
Top 4.
knocking on the door for top 4.
Yeah. All right. That's gonna be the podcast. So good job, Brian. Over an hour long podcast. Like let's go quick, and then Team Liquid vs CLG took 30 minutes of the podcast. Yeah, we got heated. We got heated. That's
I'm
good though.
gonna need you to apologize to Colleen for starting.
All right, I'm sorry.
All right.
All right, that's the podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Tomorrow we'll be back with LCK. As long as I check really quick and make sure LCK is on this week. July 10th. Yes, it is. Okay, so we'll
Yeah.
do
Also,
LCK tomorrow.
we made an oopsie,
Yep, I
so
talked
we
about
had
that
the
last. I talked
okay.
about that
Yeah,
yesterday. We did
we
the
had the EU
LEC,
podcast a little
and
early.
yep. So LCK will be Tuesday. LMS will be Wednesday. There won't be an EU podcast this week, and there'll be Wildcard on Friday. Finally, after 2 weeks of not doing it because of Rift Rivals. But yeah, that will be our podcast for this week. Thank you guys for coming to watch, and we'll see you tomorrow for LCK. Good night.
Bye.